What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to another edition of Kickback with Chad and Ricky. So, NBA players are starting to return to facilities with some one-on-one workouts, and players are also taking part in secret pickup games. So, Ricky and I are going to check on the well-being of some of the players in the NBA that we have footage of. Ricky, who you want to start us out with?
In the great state of Oklahoma, we have Mr. Trae Young here at a Skins pickup game in OKC, which I don't know if you guys noticed, but everybody and their mama is clearly in this gym, man. I don't see one mask. First question was this footage of 2019? But Chad, what was your first reaction watching Trae Young get buckets out here?
When they saw Trae Young walk on the court with his frame and his lack of size, they're probably thinking, this is my chance to check up Trae Young. And then out of nowhere, swag. 43 points, hitting 50-foot bombs, not 50 feet, but 30 feet deep, and the floater was just deadly.
Yeah, I mean, but at the same time, these guys are trying very hard. Like my man that primary guarding, number 11 on Trae, he looks like this is the time of his life. But it also looks like he knows there's nothing he can do out there. I'd be very surprised if anybody came into this game in the year of our Lord 2020 and thought, yeah, Trae Young's had a couple of months off from playing basketball. I think we could do some fun. No, this is just to get a nice little workout in. Everybody clearly is there to see Trae do exactly what he's doing, and that's just drop threes in amateurs' eyes. And good for them. Again, does nobody care about coronavirus or social distancing? I know Oklahoma was late to the party in getting all their regimes and their rules and regulations intact, but come on, man. I'd say at least 15 people that went to this game probably got COVID right now.
I'll tell you what, the Skins League, they need to work on that help defense a little bit.
Wow.
What we got next, Ricky?
We got next. Okay, so not necessarily, we don't have actual footage, but we got Mr. Ben Simmons doing his thing on the IG. You know, he's never been one to shy away from his IG account being the main thing. It looks like my man is in the lab, putting that work in. Got logging the Instagram, not doing that. But it looks like, what was this? A couple weeks ago, last week. My man is ripped. It looks like he's ready to get after it and, bring his talents back to the 76ers, because I know he's a little banged up.
Right. I mean, that lower back injury seems to be a thing of the past, and what a blessing in disguise for the 76ers here. No, his three-point shot will not be improved, but he's looking like he's about ready for about 30 points in the paint the game, just muscling in layups. And good for him and good for the 76ers.
Yeah, it looks like all he's been doing is playing Call of Duty and hitting the weight room since the pandemic hit. And that's how you're supposed to be getting after it. Get off your feet, getting some light workouts in. You know, it looks like all these pictures, there's one or two people in there with him. So good for him. He gets the A+ on social media, social distancing. He passes. But I am excited to see Ben Simmons this run in the playoffs. It's honestly, to me, it's him and Giannis as two of the top players. Obviously, we love Joel Embiid. We love our guys out in Boston, but I am a huge Ben Simmons fan. And if he gets 1/18th of a jump shot, he's a top 10 player in this league. And he will lock up your best your best offensive player, and then come down and hopefully, shoot a shot that's outside of 4 feet.
Moving on. Who's up next, Ricky?
Who we got, man? I'm sorry. Chad. Now, and for those that don't know, this is I am a Boston Celtics slanderer.
Right.
But I'm going to just let the footage run for itself. This is 19-foot Taco Fall working on his step-back threes. Enjoy, everyone.
If he attempts this step back in an actual NBA game at an NBA arena, the fans are going to go insane.
What are we doing here with Taco Fall, right? Like, I understand, and this is Danny Ainge's video, the guy that drafted him. I understand that he's kind of like the, interesting guy, and that if you can actually put the NBA skill set inside of him,
Right.
he is unguardable, right? At what is he, 7'5", 7'6", wherever he is, 7'4". He's a monstrous human being, right? And any amount of actual skill set will go a long way. But come on, man, why do we keep doing this with large humans? He is big for a reason. Stick his ass right there where the ball boy is and say, don't move until you place the ball in the hoop. Like, I don't get it. That's what
I was going to say. Before attempting that step back, there better have been 500 shots from inside the paint. Left hook, right hook, elbow, elbow. You can't be just working on a step back three at 7'6" all day.
It's a different era. I understand that. But how many threes did Kareem take? He didn't have to. How many threes did Tim Duncan shoot? He didn't have to. Want to know why? Because his inside the paint game and his backboard game, right, is so immaculate that it didn't matter. It didn't matter. Taco, get your ass down there where it's green and make your green the long way. Because right now, to me, the Celtics are just using him as a post-game, late-game attraction.
Yep.
Stay, come for the game, stay for the taco.
I'm rooting for him overall, though.
Yeah, I'm rooting for Taco the individual, not necessarily Taco Fall playing on the Boston Celtics. So. Moving forward.
Who's up next?
Yeah, we actually do have a big man who looks like he's working on his skill set as a ball handler, but again, this is case number 2 for why you should just stay your ass in the paint. Mitchell Robinson, my brother, we know you're cold. We know you're going to have a long career in the NBA. I don't think it's going to be doing stuff like that.
Way too much dancing. And I'll tell you what, if that wasn't his little cousin defending him, any average NBA defender is going to poke that ball away. But props to him for working on the handles, I guess.
Sure, great to work on the handles, but what coach is not going to take Mitchell Robinson out after trying some stuff like that? Awesome. He finished over 2 guys that are half his age. I get that. But this man is also another person that is going to make a lot of money if he understands where his money is going to be made. And that's blocking shots and skying through the hoop to the hoop, finishing dunks and putbacks and oops. Like, all this stuff, like, yes, you're going to need to hit an outside shot. Taco Fall, you will never need to hit an outside shot. There are times when Mitchell Robinson will be in playoff situations where he's forced to take an outside jumper. Probably. Won't be with the Knicks, but probably. So I'm okay with that. What I'm not okay with is the stuff at the beginning of this video, him trying to be hot sauce with the okey doke, trying to shake somebody.
I blame this on the Knicks front office for doing such a poor job at acquiring point guards. I think Mitchell just feels like he's got to be the one that rises to the occasion, and that's not his fault.
I don't know, man. I mean, like, take a look. Like, that is a very long, crossover, and he's just putting the ball right in front of him. Again, all young boys, if you know where you're going to be in this world as far as an NBA player, just get the best you can at that. Like, Nerlens Noel stayed in this league and still in this league because he figured out that, hey, maybe I'm not going to be Kevin Durant. Maybe I'm not going to be, Anthony Davis. Maybe I should just be a really good defensive player and a lob catcher, because that's where this NBA is heading to. Speaking of young boys, Chad, I know you got a boy that's near and dear to your heart. Bigger than you and I probably put together, but
yeah, man, I want to talk about. Yeah, Ricky, I want to talk about something that really, really upset me last week, and that was a tweet from Titans receiver A.J. Brown. So Jahzare Jackson, he is going into his sophomore year of high school, so just 15 years old. He's been posting some workout videos. He's a former AAU teammate of Bronny James, has gotten coached by LeBron, and A.J. Brown said, "Your hand belongs in the dirt," making millions. Which, fair.
He can. I'm sure he can.
Fair, but don't shoot down this kid's dreams. And I know you are kind of back and forth on whether or not he has potential to make it to the NBA. I say 100%. He's 15 years old, still has baby fat on him. Watch this kid blossom into a star.
Yeah, sure. I think he'll make it into the league. Again, we just got done talking about two big men that might be practicing stuff that is not going to translate too much to the league. You see where all of these shots are ending up? At the hoop, at the rim, ending somebody else's career. If he continues to do that and work on that, why can't he be Zach Randolph?
Yeah.
Right?
And
Zach Randolph is a big man with a little handle on him.
Obviously, in this highlight here, it's a lot of him driving to the basket. But if you watch some of his highlights from his freshman year of high school, he does have a good little power step. And he's got the technique and footwork that you really can't teach someone that size. That's what most kids that size lack. He's got it.
He's got it. And back to the football comment, I'm sure somebody his size can make the decision right now and make it into the NFL. But at the same time, the running joke about a lot of football players is they are failed basketball players. It's a lot of people are born loving and raised to play football. My first love was basketball. I was asked to play football and had success in that. I imagine that's a lot of NFL players today, right? So that's why everybody's got a hoop outside their crib when they get
yes, he could make millions in the NFL, true, but what's the length of his career going to be? And come on, man.
Yep.
Cristiano Felicio got a $32 million contract, and he has half this kid's skill set.
Yeah. I'd swap him in, put his minutes in for Felicio's right now. It'd be a wash at the very least. So I'd say keep grinding, young man.
Yep.
Continue working on that skill set. But remember where your bread and butter is going to be, baby. Under the hoop.
Yep.
Make it little guys. Wish they weren't down there no more. Who else we got, Chad? Who else we got?
We got your guy. One Alex Caruso of your LA Lakers, out here looking like the reincarnation of Jason Kidd in his prime.
Captain America lifting off. Yeah, let's get my man's videos going, dog. First of all, he shaved his head, and that was the biggest thing. If he was going to be bald eagle, he had to go full bald eagle, and I'm happy that it took a pandemic for him to make that business decision up top. Nobody likes a balding necessarily, basketball player. We like you bald. Get your Steve Blake on, and then let's roll. But, Alex Caruso, you see some of these passes. You see a lot of these pull-up jumpers. He's a slasher. His role on the Lakers was that energy off the bench. His minutes were starting to go up as, I guess, Frank Vogel was starting to unleash the best-kept secret on the Lakers, and that's his value with LeBron on the court. They have the highest plus-minus on the team together out of any duo. Not Anthony Davis and LeBron. It is Alex Caruso and LeBron James. It's just because he knows his role. He knows where he fills in. And LeBron's such a smart player that if he trusts you and knows where you're going to be going every time, he's going to get you that. And you see it during the year. And my man staying in shape. He's ready for the playoff run. What can I say?
Yeah, enjoy the time you have him on the Lakers now. He's on a really cheap deal, a 2-year, $5.5 million contract. I think that after that's over, he's got an opportunity to make an impact here, not only in these playoffs, but next season, to find himself maybe getting a decent little deal from a different team.
Oh, damn you, Chad. Damn you. Why are we talking about post-championship splitting up the band? Did The Last Dance not teach you anything? The LeBron James is in his quote-unquote last dance part of his career. He's got about 2 to 3 to 4 years after this one before he hangs it up right. I think if the Lakers win a championship this year, they're going to retool, but also bring back a lot of the key players on this team. Alex Caruso was not drafted by the Lakers, but he was traded for or signed by the Lakers, as a G League two-way player, and they brought him up and groomed him and believed in him into what he is today. Is there a nice fat check at the end of the rainbow for Alex Caruso if he's a contributing player for back-to-back Lakers championships? You betcha. Let's get those 2 championships first, shall we?
All right, Ricky, someone else we have to talk about is one James Harden. I don't even know if his name is James Harden anymore. I really can't even tell who this is. Ricky, thoughts on one James Harden?
Yeah, man. If this is what veganism does to you, I want no parts of it. My man looks sickly. I completely get getting the weight off your body while you're not using it for the NBA season. And we all joked about James Harden running out of gas when playoff time comes. This man took 2 months off and decided that he was going to go on a spiritual starvation quest. Like, first of all, where are we? Are we on a trek through Israel? Like, I need to know. The beard looks unkept. The hair looks a little homeless. And the body screams a little Passion of the Christ, does it not? Like, my man, I am happy that we are probably going to get the best James Harden that we have ever seen in these playoffs. But,
yeah, he just looks hungry, man. Like, that look on his face, it looks like he's looking to just find some food somewhere out there in the wild. I mean, his endurance was always in question. Do we think it's improved now? Like, is this even healthy? Yeah.
Probably healthy. He's probably what, like, you know, James Harden was probably playing around 220, 230. Right. He probably dropped down to 200 pounds right here. And maybe it's just, we're just reacting to it because it's a complete shock. But this man has completely transformed his body. Yeah. Speaking of another player that completely transformed his body, Nikola Jokic has also turned into Slender Man. And I don't know what to do with all of my material now, because while he was, you know, the hefty bag that you'd find or the Michelin Man, he has now transformed himself into a H&M employee.
I swear, man, that photo of him with the abs, I couldn't tell if that was photoshopped or not. Like I was convinced that was Photoshop.
Like, here, we also have video of him greeting his friends over in his native country. And yeah, you can clearly see right there with that bomber jacket on that he has lost a lot of weight. Here's my thing. Jokic kind of, you know, his weight is kind of used to his advantage, right? You can't get around Nikola Jokic. When he's at the top of the key, not only is he overlooking you, but he will use his body and all of his weight to keep you between the ball as he navigates and scans the court.
Right.
A man lost a few LBs, and you know, Anthony Davis is looking at him like, I was going around you before.
Right.
I'm about to go through you now. Like,
man, I'm okay with it as long as this doesn't turn into step back three Jokic. He better use his body to his advantage still and do what he does best, and that's work 15 feet in.
That's true. I mean, big assist guy. Now he has the ability to knock down the jumper, but look, you know, they're already writing articles. They're taking a look at the potential pros and cons of him dropping 50 pounds.
That's incredible.
During the season suspension. The pro, his knees gonna thank him, right? He has less to carry and walk around with. The con, it's gonna be hard to put on pounds while ramping up to get back into NBA game shape. That's the big difference right now, right? You can lose that weight. You can go on spiritual treks through the Nahara Desert, right? But at the end of the day, there's nothing like guarding a man in front of you and then running back down on offense and then running back down on defense, right? It's going to be an adjustment all the way around. I'm just very surprised to see Jokic has dropped his weight.
Yeah, and at the end of the day as well, you know, who are we to judge when it comes to Jokic, Harden? As long as, you know, they feel healthy, they're feeling good, and an NBA season happens, I'm just so ready to get some basketball back on our television, some competition here happening soon.
Me too, Brody. Not pictured, though, apparently, is your boy, who has gained a few pounds over this summer or over this little quarantine break, Luka Doncic. And he's got his trainer a little bit, you know, not concerned, just looking at his weight a little bit like that.
Yeah, he said Luka is out of shape, but, you know, there's certain athletes and certain players that just show up and just make great things happen no matter what their work ethic is. Those were the kids in high school that would always tick you off, the kids that worked half as hard as you but just showed up and just were ridiculous. But Luka is one of those guys. I mean, he'll find his way back into game shape, but a little concerning, maybe. Your thoughts?
see, man, Luka, he came into the league, right, a little puffier.
Yeah.
Then he came into his sophomore year in much better shape. To hear that he got a little puffier tells me that his diet is not the greatest right now. And he's young, right? The late Kobe Bryant would say that he knew that he could always turn on the switch and adjust his diet. So that was the last thing he did. He said if everything else, he's gone through all of his preparation and his work and his tape and research, and he still couldn't get it done, then he changed his diet. And he did towards the end of his career. But Luka is, I don't know. What do you think? What do you think what's his Achilles food right now? He's down there in Dallas, man. It's probably Whataburger. He probably going through them drive-thrus, spinning the block on them drive-thrus, because he ain't, that American fast food do something to the soul once it hits your lips for the first time. All right, Chad, I'm about to get out of here. I'm about to actually hit the court myself. Mitchell Robinson has inspired me to get my nice little crossover in. So, honestly, this just reminds me of how the normal world would look about 2 weeks from now in any other year besides 2020, because that's when you start to see NBA players get their summer workout videos in anyway. So it's a little nice to get back to some form of normalcy when it comes to our NBA season. Yeah.
Right. These workout videos, who are we to judge? We might be allowed to judge a little bit based off some of them, but in the end, it's been a godsend to get some of these workout videos resurfacing. And as we get closer, more are going to keep coming out, and we're going to keep talking about them here on Kickback, Chad and Ricky.
That's right. I'm about to
get it going. Get my thing going.